participating retailer at Mr. Mattress Superstore.
A former Air Force officer from Ozark, convicted of sexual assault in 2015, has been granted a hearing for an appeal by the Air Force. His mother has been fighting for justice the past 2 years as her son, Clarence Anderson, sits in prison. I investigate the military culture that many say attributed to Anderson's conviction.
This story needs to be told. I have facts, but it's like no one wants to listen.
Ozark native Beatrice Anderson says lies and a military court which felt pressured landed her son, Major Clarence Anderson III, behind bars for a crime she says he didn't commit.
My son has spent over 2 years in prison for something a young lady has said.
In a he said, she said case, Anderson was found guilty of sexual assault and abusive sexual contact after reports he hit, choked, and threatened to kill his ex-wife between 2009 and 2013. He was sentenced to 3.5 years and dismissed from the Air Force. His defense attorney says there was no physical evidence.
The police and the Air Force had never found any evidence to pursue any of those allegations against Major Anderson.
This case is now being reviewed for an appeal. A post-trial hearing was granted and testimony revealed the mother of the victim loaned between $80,000 and $100,000 to the witness for renovations to a home just before the charges were brought against Anderson.
There was a post-trial hearing after Major Anderson's trial to discuss the payment or potential payment to a witness that had testified at his trial to bolster her testimony. And it was during that hearing that both she and another witness testified inconsistent with how they had testified at Major Anderson's trial.
But the same judge who found Anderson guilty decided not to overturn the verdict. Miser says this isn't the first case of its kind. He says a zero-tolerance culture for sexual assault in the military may be putting innocent servicemen and women in prison.
Senior military commanders are being called and asked not to dismiss questionable allegations of sexual assault because it will hurt their service and hurt their careers. And I think that that is likely what's going on in Major Anderson's case as well.
They use this as support to prove that they will no longer allow soldiers to mistreat women, even when they know that they are wrong.
Anderson's ex-wife did not want to comment. Beatrice says she wants justice, not only for her son, but for anyone wrongfully convicted.
Right now, I am dependent on the law.